This is a disclaimer for the following video. I do not own this journal post, and I do not claim this as my own rant. I claim this as a rant by Realmwarss, seeing as how I got permission off of Skype to do this rant, or at least read it. So, without further ado, let us begin. For sakes, okay, I swear to God, it's time I actually made a journal addressing this. I don't even want to call it a thing, because at least a thing has standards. Double S Animations. This sexually deprived man-child who seems like he should seek help from a therapist or get sent to a mental institution altogether. I am fully aware his fan brats are going to moan and bitch on this journal, saying how I cannot like Vicious. Well, it's simple. Number 1, he's a terrible animator and a story writer. To the people who actually say he's the best animator out there, seriously, GTFO. His animation is as generic as anime animation gets, only with sprites. The characters being stiff as all hell, having no life into them, and honestly, could you cut out with special effects for God's sakes? I swear to God, it's like you purposely want people to suffer seizures. Not to mention the fight scenes you have are just boring and uninteresting, mainly because there's no build-up or no setting, which is sad. How do you make explosions boring? As for your story writing, my God, it's the worst in the recolor community. The fact that you can't make up your mind as to what your character's stories are, and that your flash animations go nowhere in terms of plot development, it's just a total waste of time. When I watch a series, I want to see characters change, grow, mature. You don't do any of that with your characters. Every single one is just a boring cardboard cutout of the last character you threw in MS Paint and recolored. They all consist in being boring, bland, lifeless, and overall uninteresting. Why should I watch a series when all the characters are exactly the same? I'd rather go watch Dragon Ball GT. At least their characters are more varied than yours. Plus, at least there's a story. Yeah, it's a terrible one, but it's better than yours. But then again, that's not hard to be better than Vicious. All you need is an actual plot to your series, and it's already better than anything Vicious could ever make. Why is that? Because Vicious is too lazy for something called creativity, so he uses every cliche in the book, and just focuses on the cliches than any actual plot. Seriously, even your characters' names are cliched. Chaos Beasts, Skull, Vicious the Echidna. I guess creativity isn't your forte. Then again, that's to be expected from a guy who's more mentally handicapped than Funny Time 77. And yes, I'm going there. He's worse than Jonathan. I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off for saying that, but you know something, Vicious? Your shit-tastic Flash is about as amusing as Jonathan's MS Paint slideshows. That's sad if your Flash animation is on par with MS Paint slideshows. Number 2, he's also a poser. He gives himself so many labels it's not even funny, and most of them are just to stroke his e-penis. He claims to be better than guys like Shad Falcon and Alvin Earthworm, which is a little bullshit because I've seen most of their animations, and they have both substance, more flow, and overall better scenarios than Vicious could ever come up with in his miserable suburban life. Honestly, Vicious, you think way too highly of yourself, which is hilarious considering you go after guys like Jonathan for thinking too highly of themselves. Yeah, he's a huge hypocrite, and I use that word with every fiber of my being. Number 3, he's easy to go into denial. So much that he'll even ignore things that are obviously right in front of his face. People compare him to Michael Bay, and he gets pissed off while denying everything. Hey, retard, use a shit ton of explosions and light show effects, and you're wondering why people compare you to Michael Bay? You put special effects before everything, just like the man himself. You also like to deny being lazy, when the funny thing is, you are. When it comes to mugshots or actually drawing with your animations, they're stiffer than statues. I mean, Jesus Christ, you go to other people, beg for sprites for them, just to turn around the very next second and stab them in the back saying, I made these all by myself. Yeah, you're such a goddamn poser. Again, that's something Jonathan does, and you shit on him for that. Again, could the hypocrisy and contradictions be any more blatant? I also like how you declare yourself an internet badass, when the ironic thing is that when you're backed into a corner, hell, just the idea of someone not being positive towards what you do, you get one of your dick-sucking white knights to fight your own battles.
Seriously? You can't even defend yourself in a debate when you yourself are called out? Your friends aren't the ones being called out, it's you. So why do you even drag them in? Honestly, doing that makes all people who defend you look like retards. However, considering most of your friends and fanbase are made up of autistic children, I'm not surprised they would mindlessly defend you. Number 4. You're everything you despise. You hate people who are cliche, yet you're every cliche in the book. You hate fail recolors when you're one yourself. You hate people who act pretentious, yet you're the very being on that word. You complain about other characters being overpowered, yet all of your characters are overpowered. Everything you rant your little heart out and preach to not liking, you do the same exact thing.